Alright, Vicky fam! We're back at drawing from reference, right? Still learning the shape language of guns. Let me get my shilling. Oh, not even my shilling, myself. Fuck, what the fuck am I? No, begging for likes and subscribes, right? Oh, I fucking hate you. I hate you cunts. I hate you fuckers so much. All it takes is a fucking reminder to get more likes. I even had comments being like, alright, I gave you your like. And I was like, well, first of all, I appreciate it, thank you. But you fucking piece of shit. The audacity to not automatically like and comment and subscribe to every single one of my videos. How do you not have that intuition? God damn it. It's so fucking annoying. All I have to do is beg. That's literally all I have to do. Because at this point, my first video where I started begging for likes and subscribes went up yesterday. And that one already has, on average, more. Not many, 6. But still, a lot more than fucking the 1 to 2 I used to be getting. I hate you fuckers so much. So yeah, keep me on in the background and draw along. Right? Anyways. The most important thing I need to do is to focus on the grid. That's the biggest thing I need to continue internalizing is the grid, right? Got my horizon line. I got my gunnerino. Let's do this, but I want this to be much more intense, right? So something like that. Okay, what is the back here? I don't think I ever established to myself what the back would be. And I think I fucked it up here as well. So that's why I need to really think about it. But yeah, thinking about this grid is the most important thing I can do right now. Because that's what's actually going to help with establishing the perspective, right? Fuck intuition. Thinking is how we do it. So something like that. Right? Wait, did I already fuck it up? No, something like this. There you go. Yeah, let's just keep thinking about the grid. Kind of fucked it up here again, but anyways. And that's this, right? That's... Okay, so it's going this way. Okay, cool. So, same thing, which is keeping the perspective in mind while I draw these items. And obviously I'm not going to be talking too much this time around because I really, really want to just keep the perspective in mind. And currently, I will have difficulty doing that if I talk. Obviously, I'm not a fucking god yet, so it will be more difficult, right? So we have this thing as well, which should be like this, I believe, right? And there's this thing up here. So what is that? I think that's what this shape, establishing this shape is also important. It's kind of like, and again, really trying to think about the perspective, but it's like this, right? Interesting type of shape. I don't even know how to describe it, obviously. I'm too busy thinking about keeping the perspective in mind. And not just the perspective, I gotta keep thinking about the entire gun. And how I should keep that in mind as well, right? Oh, that's a wider degree. Back here, gotta keep the entire perspective in mind. And then we have something like this. It's a bit bigger, I guess. Something like that. Nope. I need to... This is recording and my audio is good. Okay, cool. Just double checking. Something like that. That's slightly off perspective, but it's okay. We'll work with it. And technically, I guess I should be seeing the top of this slightly, right? But biggest thing is I gotta keep the entire perspective in mind. Alright, so that is resting like so, coming around, and then I bring it back, and I do this. Right? That doesn't really make any sense. This part. So I need to figure out this part, because it's kind of infringing upon the cylinder's rights at the moment. But we'll leave it as this. And I think this is okay. Yeah, this is okay. And then we have, it's smaller. So what's half of this? And then 1/3 of that. So this is like, right, and then this thing is gonna extend all the way, like back here, and come back down. Wait, but I gotta not fuck up the perspective. Let's keep it in order. It's still a bit fucked. The lines are a bit messy. But again, keeping the entire perspective in mind. Now this is something I can do where, let's see, right around here is when, oh wait, I still got this fucking thing. Right? That thing's in the middle. We're not going to see it from here. Maybe like a little glimpse. And it's attaching like so. Okay, perspective. It's very difficult to keep the perspective in mind, I'll be honest. Especially at this point. But we can still try, right? Yeah, drawing a gun at different angles is very difficult. Okay, let's keep the perspective in mind. So we got something like, there you go, something like that. Made it a bit too big. I definitely made it a bit too big, but it's okay, because what the fuck is this? I guess this is gonna go like so. That's a bit wonky. And then if it's going this way, then I'm just gonna take it a bit back. And like that. Right? That's way too thick. How'd I fuck that up? Jesus Christ, that ended up being way too thick. Something here is what I messed up, clearly. That's a difficult angle. Well, I tried my best. Let me rest my brain. Obviously, I didn't fucking account for that properly, but it's what it is. How long did that take me? 9 minutes? Seems about right. Seems about it's 10 minutes properly concentrating per thing. Alright, let's continue onwards. Yeah, this shit is very difficult. Thought I had it, but maybe I did not. Well, maybe because this bottom part I still need to practice more, right? Almost forgot it seems. But I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna try that exact same angle, but maybe a bit more even skewed now. I actually gotta imagine this. Like, I need to put the effort into imagining it while I draw it. Right, that's the main thing. And this one's gonna be really tiny because I made it very tiny. That looks a bit fucky already. Doesn't really matter how much I try to save it now. It already looks a bit fucked. But I guess that's why I have to start from the back. Because if this is double this, then yeah. Cool. So this is relatively double this. Not really. Probably should have made it a bit longer, but let's try that again. This is already a bit fucked. Nope, that's incorrect too, but let's just leave it. Already made plenty of mistakes. Nope, I keep... This is... We should just leave this as it is. I made a lot of mistakes here. Too many mistakes to really go forward, right? Peter Hahn says this one thing, like, if you fucked it up too much, move on. Just fucking move on. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I want to keep getting this angle. I feel as if this angle, this back angle is clearly one of the most difficult, so I should keep trying for it, especially this one, right? So let's try that again. Just want to keep doing it until I get it. There you go. And then this can be the third, right? And this can be the main thing. This way my perspective won't be horribly misaligned, hopefully, right? But, well, this is the thing, right? I'm trying to keep it more at the edge. So what would this be like here? Because it's obviously... so we'd actually see something more like... something like that, maybe? Maybe. If I just already establish this as what I'm going to be making. Again, we got to think about everything, right? That's the most important thing. This thing right here has to be larger. But anyways, let's get this... Well, actually, drawing the most basic form. Like, I should get this thing down before I start adding all these retarded little things here. So this is something that should be something like this, right? But then what does this look like over here? It looks like this. Again, I'm thinking really hard about the perspective. Right? you go. That might be a bit better. Because now... Well, actually, it should have been a bit further back. But I guess... Well, I gotta think really deep about this. In the meantime, I think... That looks okay, right? Maybe a way... Actually, honestly, very angled. Maybe a bit way too angled. Right, it has to be more subtle than that. But I have to think about this as well. This is attached to a box-like shape. Right, and this is coming outwards. Still trying to think as much as I can about the perspective. Right. Yeah, this this thing right here, I made it a bit way too, it's way too outward. It's connected here, right? So that's not gonna work, but overall, I think it makes decent sense. Now this is actually obviously way too angled. Way too angled. I just wanted to make it a bit more drastic so I personally could understand the relation of these shapes, but it's a bit much. I'll agree on that. But okay, there's that. And then we have something like that box shape, and then again, this is the perspective. Right, this thing, like that, then something like that. No, this is actually completely off. So is this. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anymore, but let's just pretend like I do. Yeah, that doesn't make too much sense, right? Like, this looks really fucking retarded. But it is a difficult angle. It is a very difficult angle. So I'm not gonna give myself too much crap. Yeah, these side angles are what I'm gonna keep working on. Because obviously I can draw a gun from the front now, right? Albeit, a bit awkwardly, but anyways, let me rest my brain. It's another nervous tick. Please listen to it again. Let's see. Yeah, roughly 20 minutes per gun, I guess. Okay, now I'm going to draw just this part because I want to establish how the forms rest on top of it. And right now it's very awkward, right? So this is how it is right now. It's basically the cylinder. And again, like, we want to make sure that this stuff is following the perspective, right? So this is why I keep saying I have to look at the grid, because that grid is what's going to teach me exactly how this stuff should be intersected, right? Like just this right here, this top part right here already, I have to think about the perspective, right? That's just for this top part, so we'll just leave it at that. Like, I'm just trying to think about the grid. But if we do it again from this angle, I guess, yeah, like this, right? It's completely different now. So, and to make it even more fucking annoying, you can do it like this, where it's basically we're seeing the top, we're seeing this, but we're looking at it from here. Like this is our eye, right? So we're looking at it from the top. So we have that back rectangle, right? Well, in this case, it would be in the middle. So I guess we're looking at it a little bit from the side, like the left side, more like, right, this side. And I know it's gonna bleed into it, but I don't care. Like none of these drawings mean anything. This is just for my own education, right? And I'm just visualizing this as I go along. So if that's the case, then this is the difficult part, like this curve right here, right? Like this thing. I feel as if I've already fucked it up a little. But again, then we got maybe something like that, right? And this is the thing again, like this shit. So, because I already fucked up this angle, because it's supposed to be more like that perspective. It's just ellipses at the end of the day. Right, and then this thing ends right there. And then we have, yeah, this fucker, which, again, I need to think about like how it's oriented, this thing back here, because there you go, right? Oh, fucked up the perspective, because my hands were a bit shaky. That's basically the gist of it, and then we bring it back down. At the end of the day, it's just a bunch of fucking shapes stacked on another shape. So again, if I were to look at it like this, it's okay, but I just need to internalize this a bit more. So again, and I'm gonna keep doing this from the back, because I think that's obviously the most difficult angle that I'm struggling with, right? So let's try it again, but let's try adding some foreshortening now, right? Where it's like this. So let's see, that means we have, obviously this is like the biggest fucking thing. And then we have, well, how big is that? What is the relation of that shape? It's the same size, actually. Yeah, it's the same size, technically. I'm sure in the reference it's different, but I need to come up with my own understanding. So, I guess technically we can make it smaller. Right, so we can make it something like this. Right, something like that. And this is where this thing is technically. See, and I'm just, well, again, I think foreshortening is just making it slightly, quote unquote, narrower, right? And this doesn't make any sense. I kind of fucked this up a little, but it's okay. And then, right, this just ends right there. And then we got this fucking shape right here, this one right here. So that's just, And again, I'm trying to keep the perspective in mind as I do this. Right, ta-da! All kind of jam-packed together. Probably could be much more, what's it called? Converged a bit better, right? But not bad, not bad. And then I guess if we were trying to do the entire gun in this angle, I need to figure out what the back is doing here. Is it just something that's just sort of jutting out like that? I fucked that up. It should be more like this, right? Right, is it just something like this? And we have the box. Okay, so from the back view, we are seeing, I guess if I were to go like that first, right? So I guess in this context, it makes a lot more sense that it's thicker in the back. But even something like this, right? It's not too bad. And then we just got that's okay. That's actually not bad at all. And I think I'm understanding it better. And again, as always, just add a fucking another circle here. And maybe even something like that. And now it looks like, oh my god, that's such a fancy gun. It's such a fancy gun. Just add more cutouts. Right. Add more cutouts. Maybe something like this. Right, boom. It's futuristic! Definitely some perspective issues here and some shape issues, but let me rest my brain and then I'll practice some more. Overall, for what, my third hour practicing guns, it's going pretty decent. And as you can see, it may look like I'm taking a few steps back, or here, if you can. I don't know what the fuck people are watching at this point or listening to, but the main thing is, it may look like, oh, well, these are technically shittier, but you also have to remember, I'm purposefully doing it in angles that are more difficult now, right? In the beginning, I was just doing it in angles that I was comfortable with, like this one. Like, look at this example. This is an angle I'm comfortable with, and look how bad that is, versus, that was just yesterday. This is an angle I'm extremely uncomfortable with, and you can already see that it looks much better in terms of the shapes that I'm attempting to define, right? Consistently in perspective. So, yeah, good shit. Anyways, let me rest my brain. I think this one should have been a bit further back. Maybe a bit more exaggerated. Well, there's no point doing it now, but yeah. Okay, let me rest my brain. See, the best part about keeping all of these, having all these random shapes, even if they don't look amazing, is the fact that I can now, when I get better and better at drawing this specific gun, I can literally just change the shapes, right? So instead of it being something like, okay, we got this, and it's long here, right? And then it's a bit shorter here, and then we got something like this, right? Sort of overlapping, blah blah blah, and then you have a little square or a rectangle here, right? Instead of doing something like that, this essentially gives me the ability to just think, okay, well, I know that there's a bunch of shit in a specific order, and now that I've practiced that shit in a specific order, I can change it. So I could even do, like, we could turn this into something like, okay, let's just make this smaller and a bit shorter. We'll add a bigger one instead and make it, again, like the same here, right? This one's shorter, we'll make this small as well. But then we'll go back to having like a medium-sized one, right? And make this very long. And instead of a rectangle, let's add a sort of triangular shape, right? And let's add a subtraction in the middle, right? We could do something like this, you know. And why don't we also, well, now that I know, like, I can just add stuff, why don't we just add a little coil, like a little bending cylinder, right? Something like this. Bring it over, and voila, we've essentially just by knowing that I can do shit here, I've changed it over here, right? And it already looks maybe more interesting, maybe not, but the point is I can now play with the shapes. Right now I'm just establishing specific types of shapes in a specific order and connection. And once I can internalize and intuit that specific order of shapes and connection of shapes in any angle, I can literally just mix and match the things I do to those shapes, right? Like right now, this back piece is just this, right? What is it, like fucking like that? It's basically like that. But I practice it enough, I could turn it into something like this, right? Because now the gist is the same, I can just manipulate it. Right? Oh, manipulation, art what, manipulation. Right? Antonio loves that shit, and I do too. I love that word for manipulation. Right? So, sorry, saying it multiple times tends to cause a leakage. But I'm in control now. I mean, it's still leaking, but I'm in control, mentally speaking. So, yeah, that's the whole point of why I'm practicing quote-unquote the artwad way. This isn't really the artwad way in the sense that this sort of practice has been done by draftsmen since time immemorial, but Antonio and the artwad team, what they've done is bring it to light in a very structured and understandable manner. Like they really give you the why. And I saw some posts on Reddit being like, oh, artwad doesn't really make like the beginner program. I don't really understand it. They seem to jump a little bit too many hoops. This might have been before the roadmap was released, because I think the roadmap does a great job at really breaking down the steps, right? And somebody actually said like they still didn't understand the beginner roadmap, even after like the roadmap feature was released. I think the biggest flaw right now is, yeah, there's just not enough repetition to drill it. Again, beginners, if you're a fucking beginner, you don't want to do the work. Don't lie to yourself. You don't want to do the work, right? You just don't. It's just what beginners are in any skill. You are very intimidated by those who are much more advanced than you and what they can produce, and you most likely hide behind words like talent and being unable to not be like them or some shit like that, right? But that's not the case. If they can do it, you can do it. You know, you just need to know what to do. I'm just practicing that shape here. This is a bit too thick. But yeah, if you're a beginner, you probably don't want to put the work in. So artwad needs more grinding to show you how much work needs to be done, right? I've done 500 times what they've requested. Like they say do X, I'm doing X to the power of fucking 20, you know? Because art, more than any skill, art really is a skill by repetition, and it's very difficult repetition. Like I have to see so much shit. Look at all the fucking shit I've had to see, you know? And I barely, it's so dark sometimes, right? Just like my skin color. Although this is like a medium brown, but it could be darker one day, right? Maybe, actually when the sun comes out, I should be pretty fucking brown. It'll be some good stuff. Got that golden tan going. But anyways, internalized hate aside, yeah, you just gotta fucking try your best. This is all that fucking rambling only to leave it on yeah, just do your best. This is why beginners hate people who are a bit more advanced than them, right? It just ends up becoming vague nothings. Like, just try. You just gotta try. But it is the truth. What they're trying to say is you have to use immense cognitive effort. That's what they're trying to say. You know, when they're saying try, what they mean is do endless repetitions and use your brain till it hurts, like I'm doing right now. Right? That's how I got quote unquote good or better so fast. Is just really, really fucking trying, you know? like really trying. And I do my best to never stop trying as well. Uh, yeah, that's the main thing. I fucked this up again, but it's okay. We can just live with this mistake, and yeah, end it like that or something. And then we got the oh wait, it's this way. You see how difficult it is to maintain the perspective when you're drawing something? It's incredibly difficult. So, do not think that this comes easy, because coming is never easy. Right? So yeah, more practice in the back, and I guess I could draw the rest of the gun, right, with what I have in mind. Again, try to keep the perspective in mind. The hardest part is always, for me, keeping the fucking perspective in mind. It's like such a goddamn pain in the ass. But it's good. You know, if you didn't have to work, you wouldn't appreciate the work it took, if that makes sense. Right? And that's with anything. If we didn't have to work for skill, in this case, you wouldn't really, like, nobody would be skilled, right? Like, nobody would really be. I don't think people would be masters if it took a genuine amount of energy to be a master, if that makes sense. Right? I don't think. Okay, hold up. I'm just trying to think about the perspective. Give me a second while I cease my rambling. Yeah, I don't think the mastery that we see in any domain would exist if it wasn't a genuinely grueling and difficult thing. Right? Because why would anybody put themselves through that? You wouldn't unless the effort was worth the reward. And effort is intrinsically, I would like to believe, linked to not being instantly good at something. Does that fucking make sense? I don't think it makes sense. Who gives a shit? I don't think it fucking makes sense. But well, I guess what I'm trying to say is, fucking do the work. Stop bitching. This could be much longer, actually. Trying to think. What is this like? It's like this, right? What orientation did I put this in? It's like that. Okay. There you go. That's the handle area, right? And then we could just finish it off with this thing just extending. Not perfect, and obviously it's very fucking convoluted. I always do this. In fact, there's a lot of issues now that I look at it, but that's okay. That's how we learn. And again, I'm always trying to think about the grid. And the more I tell myself this, the more I will continue to think about the grid. Right? So it's a good strategy to keep reminding myself to think about the grid and then keep thinking about the grid. Right? It's what I did in the beginning to get so quote unquote good at perspective so fast. But again, one day I will put out a video just showing exactly how much drilling I did. But if anybody's listening or watching at this point, right, I'm not a fucking one of those channels who will make dedicated videos to this stuff until obviously I'm much better, so I can be like, it was just talent all along. But for those of you listening or watching right now, it was essentially thousands, not hundreds, thousands of perspective clusters like this that I just did over and over and over, and that got more and more complicated. This is a very simple version, right? And like really just thinking about the grid while I did it, right? Like fucking thousands of this shit. I can't even. I have literally over 200 pages of this. But imagine this, but essentially times it by 10 in terms of attachments and different things going on. That's what I did. Like imagine this tiny ass fucking like that this type of shit, but it's extremely intricate and like really small, sometimes big, small, right? And really, what I'm making right now is the same thing. I'm just making a perspective cluster uh, that has a bit more nuance, right? But still a perspective cluster all the same, right? Even with the fuck ups, of course. Now I gotta make a choice as to what I want this to be. I think I've already made my choice. Actually, wait. I think I fucked this up. Something like that. I did fuck it up a little. Yeah, I did fuck it up a little. Should have been more like this. There you go. So this is off center. But yeah, you see, like that's the difficult part about drawing, right? Is that you actually have to do it. No matter how much we complain, at the end of the day, we just have to draw. And we have to keep everything in mind, and I have to talk while I'm doing this, which is also really fucking hard, right? I hate all of you. God damn it. Make my life so fucking hard. Okay. There you go. At least you got the gun handle down, roughly, right? Okay. We got this. It's like right here. True, I never thought about this angle, so what would that look like? Something like that. I never thought about this angle. Sure. Oh, wait. More like this, I guess. Difficult, but not impossible. Right? If it's going this way, then I can just make it slightly curved. Right, just slightly. And then there you go. Now I fucked up the proportion. Should have stopped it a bit earlier. I still think this bar is too fucking big, and I'm fucking some things up. I may have to go back to the drawing board. No pun intended. But yeah, cause like what, like this shit. Got something like this, right? Coming in. Yep, see, I'm already fucking up the perspective. It's so easy to lose it. It is so incredibly easy to lose the perspective. And I think tomorrow I'm gonna look at the reference again and see if I can refine my understanding of the attachment of the shapes. I think right now what's really fucking me up is the attachment. And honestly, the biggest issue is probably I haven't kept my proportions in mind, right? Like with this one, I should probably make the height more clear, right? So the height is, what would that be? The height is also half. Well, if this is actually the width is not half, then let's just make the height 1/3, right? there's another issue right there. Like this height is not 1/3. It is fucking huge. So maybe it should be coming out like this, right? Yeah, this is actually what's making everything so big. My okay. Oh, that had to sneeze. Fucking retarded ass noise. So I'm gonna stop this here because this is not going anywhere. See, I fucked up the perspective again. You see how easy it is? Holy shit! It's so easy to fuck up the perspective. This is a mess. This is a mess. So we'll leave it as is. Let me rest my brain and let me try again. But yeah, guys, this end girl, this is really fucking difficult. You know, the shape language, getting that down, not horribly difficult, but it's a lot of thinking involved. I know that's something many of you are not used to, using your brain, but in this day and age, it's all you can do to stay ahead. See, just like that, you can start creating interesting gun designs, right? And same here. Now that I know that there's like something at the bottom, something like that, right? But this still stays the same, right? But then this goes on, right? Like you can do a lot. You can do a lot of stuff. Fucking dick sucking noises. Yeah. Just fucking. Don't worry. One day I will not improve my articulation. That day being today. Very nice. Nice. Very nice. Let's see Paul Allen's articulation. I'm gonna stop fanoidling. Let's continue on and get this angle down again. Right? So yeah, see, it's I also have a tendency to just forget things. Right? I'm not that smart. So like I'm very average in terms of intelligence, I would say. I'm just a bit tenacious. So this is 1. Right, we need to get that down. This is 1. So like this is 1x. This is 1/3 x. This is 2x, right? So it's like here. It stops right here, roughly. Now I need to think about, and again, you'll notice that it's much easier for me to draw smaller than bigger. I think that goes for most people, right? It's less to zoom out and think about, right? Even Kim Jong-gi draws pretty small. I mean, he also did live drawing, so he can draw shit like this pretty big as well, right? Maybe for me it's best to just stick to a decent range, right? Like to this. But at the end of the day, it's more about thinking about how the shapes interact. So I've established that I want it to be something like that. This is 1/3 x, right? So it's this size. Now we just gotta go something like that, maybe. This is half x, right? So I'm doing a bit better job now. Biggest thing, even now, it's so difficult, is to consistently think about the perspective. I'd say that is absolutely the most difficult thing, is to constantly reinforce the perspective, which I'm gonna continue to try doing. Jesus Christ, cannot English. My English not so good. Let's see. This is a bit smaller, and this one's larger, right? I have to imagine it. So I have to visualize the perspective. I have to understand the shapes I'm using. I have to understand how the shapes connect, and I have to visualize the entire thing as I go along. Like, I'm basically, the goal is to have the visual library to be able to fill in the blank, right? We don't want to do it one step at a time in the sense of being blind. We want to always have a general idea of what it is that we're drawing, right? At least that's my opinion, you know. I have to preface it with an opinion, because then people were like, "Who the fuck do you think you are? Who do you are? Who do you think you are?" And I'm like, bruh, I'm literally just an artist who's much better than you. You obviously should listen to me. This is also where I get a bit confused, right? Because okay, so relatively still making the same choices here, albeit a bit more consistently. Did I establish the size of this thing? If this would be 2.5x, I guess. Right, so let's see, that's 1, 2, 2.5, and then we'll just move it back a little bit. So it'll be like that. Right? There you go. It's getting a bit better. This is obviously still a bit finicky, but what does the back look like? Well, that comes back like this. So we have 1, 2, maybe. It's okay. It's actually much more consistent for sure, right? If we look at the gun like this, it's looking a lot better. So obviously taking my time is helping quite a bit. Right now it's just about up to this, and I think I need to consistently find markers. So we'll have this thing end over here, or like end at the halfway point, right? So this is this little triangle, or not triangle, a rectangle, right? That's coming out like this. It's coming at the halfway point, and then we're just, see, like, it's obviously much easier to keep the perspective in mind. I'm not fucking dealing with a much larger thing, but I'll slowly work up to it. I'm gonna do my best to slowly work up to it. Right, even then I've already kind of fucked it up here, but it's okay. So there's that, and then we have this thing, which ends roughly at the halfway point over here. So it ends roughly right there, and that's where let's see, this comes about, right? Okay. And then we have the end of this thing. Oh wait, I made it a bit too big, I guess, but it's the end of this thing. And then tiny little the rectangle, which again I have to really think about, because it is difficult. Right, and now we have the end of our gun. Okay, it's okay, it's not bad, but this is a much better, look at that, look how much more aligned with these proportions This is this one over here, right? This is much more aligned with that. And I did it in an angle that is difficult, so that's also progress. So again, for me, I think verbalizing while also thinking, while also... Art is hard. Art is very difficult. Yes, that is the truth. Just like myself, I am also hard. Of mind, of course. I steel myself for any and every possible outcome. Is time up yet? I'm saying random shit. Oh, it's 55 minutes. Wonderful. I'll draw one more gun right over yonder. Anyways, let me rest my brain. But yeah, along with just like what I've been saying, one big thing when it comes to learning that your boy Andrew Huberman Sensei, as I call him, right? Oh, that was, there you go. That's the one that's been waiting to come out. But one thing he says regarding motor skills is, and everything that I've heard, like motor skills, neuroplasticity, focusing, all that shit, right? Is it's like the average focus bout is really only it's for within an ultradian rhythm, which is a 90-minute bout, right? Our sleep cycles are on the same bout. Our body especially essentially operates on this sort of rhythm, which is of 90 minutes, right? So focus, same, only roughly lasts around 90 minutes. And he says, and he's mentioned, it's very normal for when you're entering a focus bout for it to be difficult and to be distracted, and then to have like a deep focus period, which you can tell, like I was having around like here, right? Oh, not here, sorry, here, here. Like I was having moments of focus here, right? But it's also completely normal for your focus to be taken out, which is very evident to this, actually, yeah, like this, right? Even this, like it's very normal. So the whole point is, do your best to focus and consistently focus on refocusing. Funny enough, it's like a skill in of itself to focus, right? And on top of that, that pairs well with growth mindset, which is focus on the effort when you're learning, right? Just derive happiness from the errors that you make, the error, and focus on the effort, right? So those are the two things I think about, and I do my best to embody because it's all we can do, right? Okay, so let me try this again. And I have to, again, like I have to think about the entire thing, not just what I'm drawing right now. That's, I think, apart from focusing on the perspective, that's probably the most difficult thing, is to think about the entire picture, right? And that's something, you know, Kim Jong-gi obviously promotes and talks at length about, right? But it's much easier said than done, because you're also thinking about the perspective as well, right? So lots of things, lots of shit to think about when it comes to this. And that's why focusing is extremely important, right? Because it's the only thing that's going to be a constant, is the effort you make to really focus on what you're doing. And you know, don't beat yourself up if you're garbage, because we're all garbage, right? Being shit is how you get good, essentially. You know, that's literally how we get good. You just shit over and over and over, and you make a concentrated effort not to be shit, until voila, one day you are not shit. But how did you get there? By doing your best, just trying not to be shit. You know, there's no secret to it. It's just keep trying, keep failing, keep trying, keep failing. I mean, obviously, there are secrets in the sense that focus on the right things. They're focused on form, your line quality, visualizing the grid, seeing the perspective. If you want to draw like a draftsman, right? I have to preface because somebody be like, actually, so I have to say, like, if you want to draw like a draftsman, if you want to think with form, these are the things you should focus on, right? So it's completely normal to feel like, am I learning? I feel like every single fucking time I practice, to a degree, not even to a degree, I definitely every single fucking time I practice, multiple moments during my practice, I will think, bro, am I even doing this right? Like, am I even learning? Have I gotten any better? But it's also like if you have that experience enough and then you see consistent growth, then you just have to accept it as part of the journey, right? Like, okay, clearly you're gonna feel this way quite often, so stop being a little bitch. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. Well, I mean, I am trying to say stop being a little bitch, but the point I'm trying to make is you're gonna feel like, am I improving often? But if you are continuing to improve while you keep thinking, am I improving? It's at one point you just have to realize that it's part of the journey, and this is slightly off perspective. I fucked it up. See, like, look at that. It's so easy, especially when you're fucking talking while drawing. It's so goddamn easy to just lose this shit. But I refuse to lose my shit. Right, and now we have okay, and this is something that's like, okay, we have this fucking thing as well, this thing. So how does that look? Well, that would look like this, and this. Okay, so then this is over here. So we have to, well, I guess it's going like that. Right. Still relatively saw this, which is good in my mind. Right. But this perspective is completely off. No, it's not. I got the curve down. Now I just need something like this to do this. Right? I don't fucking know. That looks pretty off to me, but we'll just leave it. For the time being, mistakes happen, right? What I was just talking about. Now this is 2.5 of this. So 1, 2, 3, move it back slightly. Right, and then this is coming forward. Yeah, this is coming forward. There you go. Still, even with the mistakes, you can see that I did my best. And we can even finally add this little bar that I never seem to ever add. Just to reinforce the perspective I was trying to make. But, okay, there's clearly, oh wait, no, it's because I didn't do this. There you go. Oh, that already makes it a lot better. And this, there's something wrong here. Probably should have been something more like this. Yeah, there you go. I made it stop at the edge of the cylinder rather than it wrapping around, right? But hey, also, and again, like, these might be too big or whatever. This perspective is slightly off. Right, this going this way, this one's going slightly off, and it's actually off center. So if I just did this, that already makes it slightly better. But hey, pretty good, pretty good. I mean, again, like, look at that. The main thing is that, oh, and this actually, I fucked up some things here. this looks really weird because this should probably be more like this, right? Maybe something like that actually, because it is cutting into the cylinder. So yeah, that's probably more accurate. Yeah, it's cutting into the cylinder. I have to remember that it's cutting into it. So not bad. And overall, these proportions, as you can see, even though it's relatively the same size as this, look how much better these proportions are, because this was fucking everything. But now I got the right size for this, which is literally a third of this, right? Relatively a third, and then half. It's a bit off, but still. Good stuff. And it looks like a gun. Let's just add a fucking random, I don't know, semicircle, or half sphere, right? There you go. That's not even an iron sight. I don't know anything about guns, so I don't even know what this means regarding the words, right? The reticule, the iron sights, the mag. I don't know any of that shit, bro. I'm just drawing fucking manipulated shapes. I'll do the education when it comes time, a la the artois de methode. So, all right, let me rest my brain. All right, cool. Well, I'm not gonna do one more. I'll save that for next time. I've decided I'm gonna fill 2 pages of guns before moving on to tanks and then airplanes. So this will probably be like a good week and a half, 2 week thing, which will basically be 2 weeks of content, or like fucking a month of content actually. Holy shit. And then I'll go back to my blog. That's good. So there's some things I have to edit here, but it'll be like warm up, crazy scooter, warm up, beginner roadmap, blah 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 blah. And at the end, it will be draw from imagination, 2 pages, which I did, and then 3 like reference practice, 3 items, 2 pages each, right? This way I'm actually utilizing my fundamentals and I'm practicing actually learning along with the fundamentals and the workouts and all that stuff. It's never going to be a perfect schedule when it comes to drawing, but I think that's a pretty decent balance for the time being, so it should be fine. And yeah, and then I can just go back to practicing all that shit, right? And I'm obviously like, I think I mentioned, but I've decided for each of these workouts and roadmaps, I'm just gonna spend as much time as I want to on it. So this will be like, this entire rotation will probably be 2 to 3 months each from now on, rather than like 2 to 3 weeks, which is good because that way I can really drill the things I want to drill, right? But yeah, I guess with that being said, right? Oh, begging for likes and subscribes. If you're at this point, you're a fucking idiot if you haven't liked or subscribed. Like, what the fuck are you doing listening to me, right? Same spiel as always. You're a fucking moron. And apparently it works. Apparently it literally works to fucking just say like and subscribe. Like and subscribe, please, please, right? And suddenly you're like, oh, maybe I should do that. Oh, so yeah, clearly at this point I've gotten to you. Just fucking do it. And apart from that, as always, well, one thing I just want to say is, like, despite my memes, I do genuinely believe anybody can draw. So if you're listening, which you probably aren't because nobody is, and when I'm huge in the future, there's probably thousands of people listening to this, but for now, there's probably 1 or 2 person, because I'm going to be the greatest art god of all time on the YouTubes. So, yeah, if you're listening, you can draw. You know, no ifs and buts. If you're going to put the work in, you can draw. You can definitely do it. Focus on the right things. Still have fun, right? I'm not saying draw like me, go ballistic like I do, but focus on the right things, have fun, be curious about the fundamentals, and just be curious about learning, right? Learning is a skill. Learning, being in discomfort is learning. You know, you need to correlate those 2 things together. Like being in cognitive or physical discomfort, in this case both, right, when it comes to art, is the learning process. So find the parts of that which you enjoy and which parts of learning, you know, that you enjoy. And I genuinely believe you can achieve everything you want to. You know, you got this. Apart from that gay shit, as always, keep drawing. Fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please give me money. Thank you. Bye.